I'm probably going to get a horse and name it Porsche. I'm just going to name my horse Porsche. And that's the closest thing I'm going to get to a 911.
What's up, folks? It's Cam.
I'm Spade.
And we are back. Two Brothers Auto. Spade. Episode 8, by the way. Episode 8.
It's been 8?
It's been 8. Well, this is 8. This is 8 right here.
This is 8.
Yeah, this is 8. Spade. I'm going to jump right into it. First of all, I'm going to let the people know. You know, I'm the Euro guy. I'm the Porsche guy. But today, Spade, all of my topics are about things happening in the Americas and with American brands and American people.
We know what that means. Let's hear it.
What that mean?
You finna trash us, bro. That's what you do. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna trash. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start because one is not necessarily negative, depending on your political views. But I'm gonna start with the one that's positive for everybody. Should be positive for everybody.
No, this is a change for you.
So,
I like it.
You all may not know. Spade knows. Like this year, I've been keeping up with Formula One a lot more. Like I've been watching the races every weekend. Canadian Grand Prix is going on right now. If you're wondering when we're filming this, so been keeping up with it. And I've known it's been in the works for a while, but it finally got its final approval. I want to say it towards the end of March, mid-March, end of March. But next year, Spade, 2026, Cadillac will be joining the F1 grid. Like I said, this has been, if you keep up with Formula One, it's been going on for years in the making now. They've been having to jump through all the hoops and whatnot, but it's finally happening. Formula One is finally coming to America, for lack of better terms. You know, we have American races, but haven't had an American-owned brand in Formula One.
Really?
I'm not gonna say ever, in quite some time. I got to do my fact check on that. But yeah, it's been officially approved. I already have a team being assembled. We don't have drivers at the moment. There's a lot of speculations on who the two drivers are going to be.
Guy.
You're the guy. This man hates open wheel racing.
Never, yeah.
But yeah, team is headquartered in England, which, you know, you might think that's a little bit weird, but because most of Formula One racing happens overseas, it's not that wild.
Okay.
For 2026 and 2027, good thing to note, the team will utilize Ferrari engines or Ferrari power units and engines. After that, Cadillac should have their own developed at that point, but in the interim, they're going to lean on Ferrari power units to kind of power the cars. If you follow Ferrari, that's a little scary. Not scary in the sense of like unreliability, but just scary in the sense of like having to deal with the finickiness of them and how those cars perform. But Spade, I'm very interested to see this. Another reason why this is big news is that it is supposed to help get people like you, Americans who are not really into the F1 scene, supposed to be an incentive to kind of reach out to that market. They're trying to get more American people into F1. So Spade, I see you shaking your head. you think they're gonna succeed in that goal of getting more Americans to buy into F1?
Nah, because here in America we got short attention spans, and I don't want to watch a race is gonna take hours to complete.
The race is gonna take like hour and a half, 2 hours long.
Yeah. Just take me to the drag strip. You know what I'm saying? They get it over in about 8-9 seconds. You know what I'm saying? The race is over in 10 seconds max. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
They watch NASCAR.
I would give it a shot.
You watch NASCAR.
You got a point.
I don't watch NASCAR, but
you got a point.
And NASCAR takes longer.
You're absolutely right. You're right. Touche. I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
I'll give everything a shot once.
You give it a shot. I'm watching now, so it ain't about me giving it a shot. I'm interested to see how they compete. Like I said, right now, I'm really waiting to see who the drivers are going to be. I know you're not going on, but Sergio Perez has been thrown around. There's some shuffling that's going on. That's going to happen with current drivers. We don't know. But long term, I would love to see an American driver. And right now,
I would love to see American cars, real cars. Not American cars with Ferrari power plants.
Well, that's just first 2 years.
Let me know when it's really American.
They gotta get their feet wet, bro. But yeah, I think in order for them to really tap into the American market, it's gonna take an American driver. So I think it's a few in IndyCar. Of course, in NASCAR, I don't think any of those guys are gonna be able to make the jump and not, or at least not do it well, just because they're just going around.
It's very rude.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Very rude.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Like it's just. NASCAR, Formula One is a little bit different. I'm not trusting somebody who's been driving NASCAR to go through a chicane. I'm just not.
Fair.
But the Americans, we enter in the grid. You know, at the least, like come out there with your American flag pride. You know how we do when it come to, we talk crap amongst ourselves. When it comes to defending us against other countries, you know, we start flying that ego around. We start waving that flag.
That's fact.
So if you hadn't tuned into F1 before, let 2026 be the inaugural season. And you got an easy team to root for. Just root for the American guys. Like I said, you probably ain't gonna know who the drivers are, but that's cool. That's fine. It's baby steps. We're just trying to get in. So Spade, that's my first topic of the day.
I like it. I see your American topic. I raised you an American topic.
Okay.
Ford.
Uh-oh.
Now, before I jump into this topic, let's go ahead and keep it 100. It's no secret I'm not a huge fan of the Mustang, but I respect what the Mustang is in the car scene. I absolutely do. First of all, it's a muscle car that's been around forever. You know, my father had a 1965. Actually, I think he said it was a 64 and a half, whatever that means. But he had a Ford Mustang.
Got half of your cars back then?
I don't know what they were doing back then. But I also get that it's an affordable muscle car. At least they start off pretty affordable. They got some now that's not very affordable. But I get what it represents. Where they lose me is with stuff like this. So there's news, the 2026 Ford Mustang is rumored to be coming with something called an FX package. Now, this FX package pays homage to the Foxbody Mustang of the late 80s and early 90s. Now, it comes with this really cool color called Adriatic Blue. It's got Recaro seats with plaid inserts. I think the coolest thing I heard about it was the dash cluster, the instrumentation cluster is backlit green, like the cars used to be back in the day. I think that's a pretty cool touch. Cam, there's no pricing information on this car yet. My issue with it, and I want somebody to jump in the comment section and help me to understand. I've got images that should be popping up around here. The car looks nothing like a Foxbody Mustang. But you don't get a chance to just take a car and just because you paint them the same color, you're like, these are the same. They don't look nothing alike. It don't look like a Foxbody because it's not a Foxbody. It's just not. And we've seen this done well before. I'm going to also throw up images of when Dodge first brought back the Challenger. If you look at the 1970 Challenger, you look at the Challengers that rolled out in 08, 09, like that first gen comeback of the Challengers, they look pretty. Like you can look at one and you can say, I see how we got from here to there. I'll even throw up a picture of Camaro. Camaro did it. Now, I don't feel like Camaro did it as good as the Dodge, but you can look at the old Camaros, you look at the newer Camaros that they brought back, and you can say, I see it.
And just change with the times.
This car don't look like a Foxbody, bro.
Yeah,
it's just not a Foxbody. And what really blew my mind was I jumped in the comment section, and Mustang fans was like, this is how you do it. This is perfect. And I was like, what are they talking about? It doesn't look like a Foxbody.
Yeah, I've seen that, whatever that special model is, and it's odd. It's odd of like, all of it is just odd. It's like I get like the Foxbody, very iconic, iconic car.
I like the Foxbody.
Yeah, me and you talk about it, like Foxbody. Everybody likes a good Foxbody, but it's just the way the modern Mustang looks is like that's not the car to pay homage to. Like you just can't. Outside, they would have been like, oh, we paying homage to this color that was only seen on Foxbodies. Cool,
I'll take
like
that.
That's fine. But the fact that you finna be like, oh, we're gonna try to make this modern Mustang look like a Foxbody by this new color, and they did the little inlets that's inside on the front grille, making them white. I'm like, this looks stupid. It just
don't look like a Foxbody.
It looks dumb. Like I said, we don't know the price. They probably finna hit y'all over the head with whatever the price is gonna be.
My guess is 65. I'm expecting 65.
I'm anticipating that those are not gonna do well.
I mean, I think they'll do well because typically Mustangs do okay.
I hope they don't do well. Let me rephrase that.
See, this is a whole different type of hate.
I hope they don't do well.
That's a whole different kind of hate. I'm not on that.
We shouldn't be celebrating manufacturers doing shit like this. I'm sorry.
Well, it's like
doing it, not the act itself, but the way they're executing it. We should not be rewarding them for this type of execution.
Although I feel like this car doesn't look anything like a Foxbody, I am notoriously kind of hating on Mustangs to just be like, I can't tell the difference. And I know that's unfair to say because if you're not a Porsche fan, you can look at a base model 911 and you can probably look at a GTS. I mean, I can't say like a GT3 because they look drastically different. You look at a GTS and a base model side by side and a non-Porsche fan would be like, same car. But I look at every Mustang and I see the same car. I don't see what makes one $100,000 and what makes one $50,000 visually. They look so similar. So maybe just this unique color, if it's only available in this FX package and white wheels and the white emblems, maybe that's enough that I can at least say, oh, that's the one that's supposed to be a Foxbody that don't look like a Foxbody. Yeah. At least I'll be able to identify it.
Yeah, What else were they doing to it? It was just. Thanks, guys. We got the Daytona 500 behind us.
Never fail.
Are they out? I know they're doing the instrument cluster.
Right.
They're doing the paint.
Right.
They're doing the little inlet. I don't know what they call it on the front grill. Doing a little thing with the front grill.
Yep.
Did they say anything else?
They got plaid inserts in the Recaro.
It's all just visual stuff.
As far as I know.
Did they say which current model is based off of? Like, this is finna be off a base Mustang? Is it finna be off the, what is it, the GTO, GTD, whatever it is?
It's definitely not the GTD. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm very confused by the whole thing.
If you've seen it and you like it and you get it, and if we're just missing the point, please bless me in the comment section. Let me know what I'm missing. Because to me, I don't see the Foxbody. If you don't tell me that it's paying homage to the Foxbody, I don't see it. Like, I don't look at the car and go, oh, Foxbody.
You just see it and be like, this is a terrible.
Mustang.
You just see the terribly spec
Mustang with white wheels.
Yeah.
That's all I see.
Pretty bad. All right. That's all we got for that topic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mustang people, sound off in the comments. Let us know. Let us know if you're a fan of it or if you hate it as a Mustang fan. I would love to hear from y'all, like how y'all feeling about it.
Mm-hmm.
Spade. Yeah, like I said, we stand in America. This one, we gon', I don't like when people be like, oh, we're not gonna get political. And politics it's a part of everything. It's part of the world. You gotta be political to some degree. We're gonna talk about our current president, ending California's gas car ban.
Yeah.
Just did this recently. Spade, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. Only reason he's doing this is because him and Elon finally got into it. It was anybody who's been looking at the situation objectively. You knew when Elon and Trump started playing buddy. Anybody with some sense knew that this was going to come to an end and it was going to come to an ugly end. And that is kind of what has happened over the past week or so. If you're on X, Twitter, I call it Twitter. Some of y'all might call it X. And whatever app, I can't remember what the app he used now. But him and Elon had a back and forth on there. A lot of wild stuff being said. Mm-hmm. And I'm 90% sure Trump did this in retaliation to Elon. This was a middle finger to Elon.
The only reason why I'm not sure is because I think that their relationship started to sour when the Big Beautiful Bill came. Because the Big Beautiful Bill is where he came out saying that you got to pay the annual, whatever it is, fee for having an EV. Yeah. And that's what I think started the relationship to going sour. Mm-hmm. So I don't think, I don't know, man. Like, secretly, the dude might have been getting ready to be like, screw this dude from the get-go. You know what I'm saying?
That might be true. He might have been, like I said, I don't, that relationship was never going to last to me.
Of course not.
But like I said, this is a pretty big ban because it affects 17 states in the U.S. That's 30% of the market. Of course, part of that, he's also threatening more tariffs. If you hadn't been around, tariffs and Trump go together like two peas in a pod. Like, every time he talks, it's something about a tariff. So talking about another tariff push to get more production done in the U.S. Again, that's going to hurt EVs because a lot of the electronic components do not come from us. And quite frankly, it's kind of impossible for them to come from us. It just cannot happen.
Absolutely.
But one major legal thing in this is that it's kind of unknown, like, whether Congress can retroactively revoke EPA waivers granted under the Clean Air Act that's been in effect since 1970. So again, this is just him kind of using his power. He pushing stuff. Like I said, none of this is technically passed. I think, House and all the other stuff has to happen. But the fact that he even doing this alone, like I said, the big blanking on the name of it, you just spoke.
Big Beautiful Bill.
Yeah, the Big Beautiful Bill was already a play. I just think he threw this extra light on the fire just because of that whole exchange. So this is all just retaliation, and we all suffering from a petty beef between two people with an insane amount of money.
But is this suffering though? If you are a fan of gas cars,
I think so because
that's, if I'm not mistaken, this also impacts emissions. Like, this completely changes the emissions regulations.
It changes that. It changes the California wanted to ban the sale of gas cars by 2035. Mm-hmm. It changes that, and it gets rid of the 50% electric mandate by that same year. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's good because it's temporary. So it's gonna, like, God forbid, auto manufacturers react to this and they're like, oh, okay, we'll halt our EV plans. And then 2 weeks from now, this like they done made up for now, and it's like, okay, we ain't doing this no more.
Yeah,
and now it's just constant back and forth. And we talked about recently ago how much it costs Porsche for them to shift their plans from their original electrification process to what it is now.
Absolutely.
Everybody, and that's Porsche. Everybody can afford that.
No, you're right.
So that's why I think it's not good for us, because at the end of the day, whether we go into more EVs or whether we not, we need to know what we need to know what's happening. We need to know. Manufacturers need to know. It just makes it easy for everybody to plan.
That's true.
Just as a country, for us to get with the times, whatever they are.
True. Very true.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for the topic. Let us know how you feel about this. One, how you feel about this feud between Trump and Elon and it affecting American people. Do you see them resolving this? I know they kind of, sort of have. I know Elon kind of apologized for some of the stuff he said. I don't think Trump did the same thing, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm taking this ban with a grain of salt. I don't see this really going anywhere.
Yeah, me either. But my next topic kind of fits in good with where you just went. I want to talk about a brand that is very near and dear to your heart, Cam. Let's talk about Porsche. And Porsche stock actually declines 21%, that's a big number. So I'm talking about Q1 profits. We're a bit in the Q2, maybe even Q3 at this point. But Q1 profits for Porsche fell from 14% to 8.5%. All right. And this has caused Porsche to cut their annual projections from 10 to 12% to like 6.5 to 8.5%. Like, it's a pretty substantial hit. So the big thing with Porsche is at this point, 61% of their sales are in SUVs. It's not their sports cars. So this puts them in a market where they compete with Mercedes, BMW, some of these other brands. So obviously, you know, if they're selling 61% of their sales are SUVs and they are starting to decline, that typically means that those other competitors are up. People like SUVs. Not only do people like SUVs, auto manufacturers have learned that you could take the exact same SUV, cut the ass of it off, and sell it for more money, and we'll buy it.
And then they call them coupes.
And call them coupes. And I know this because my wife wants one. But anyway, so here's the thing. I just talked about the fact that 61% of their sales are in the SUV space. Unlike Mercedes-Benz and BMW, they currently don't do any manufacturing here in the States. So I think Alabama and South Carolina do some manufacturing for the competitors.
Shout out to 205.
So you gotta, not only are you fighting sales being down, you're fighting tariffs, and they're making a major pivot. Like at one point, Porsche came out and said they wanted to be 80% electric vehicle. They invested billions into the Taycan, which I love from afar. And they have also converted the Macan over to a fully EV vehicle as well. Well, those
also just did the Cayenne not too long ago.
And the Cayenne.
Yeah, Cayenne's EV too.
The sales ain't really looking like it's the move. The Taycan, we've talked about it on previous episodes of this news broadcast for you guys. The Taycan, it's a beautiful car. I think it's a great performing car. We love the car. It is depreciating like a rock falling off a cliff. Like, it is
great used car. Great car for value. You find one used.
Yeah.
Well, not if you can find one used.
You definitely can. So I mean, it's a very unique situation for Porsche because they are having to make a pivot. Maybe they don't, but I think they have to make a pivot away from their electrification plan that you just spoke of. And also, in kind of related news, they're also saying they're thinking about pulling out of the Chinese market. The Chinese EVs are running China to the point that Porsche can't, and China loves EVs, but they can't compete with the Chinese EVs. So Porsche really has some stuff that they're going to have to figure out. And all of that means that their stock is down 21%.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the guys on that front. But you know how these things go with quarters. You have one bad one, then you have a great one.
Yeah.
I will say that last note on them getting out of China, I don't think that's a them specific issue. I think all manufacturers should probably just jump ship and get the hell out of China because them Chinese manufacturers are whooping ass.
They ain't playing no games.
Man, I'm jealous. I be on TikTok. Shout out to Forrest Jones. No relation. But I be seeing some of the Chinese EVs, which I don't know how he getting them over here to review. I don't know what's happening there. But the amount of car you get for the money, is like the stuff they get away for like 20 bands.
It's insane.
Is insane.
Performance, luxury,
all in one. Not
all
and like
in
no, there are no sacrifices outside of what body shape you.
They ain't cutting
like
no
they got
corners.
everything. You want a 4-door sedan, we got it. You want a mid-size SUV, you want a coupe SUV, we got it. You want a full-size SUV, we got it. And it's just for like $30,000, and then Porsche. I'm gonna walk in here. Here's my Taycan for $110,000. No, I don't want it.
$160,000 Taycan.
Yeah, I don't want it. I do not want it. So
with 250 miles range.
Yeah, all you manufacturers should, I would say, hey, get out of China, or the preferred option, get your pricing in order, because y'all are getting ridiculous. Porsche, especially you, like we got to. I ain't gonna go on a rant, but these new 911s. We got to stop, man.
This is another thing. Like, this is not even in the news, but let's talk about it. Let's actually talk about it.
All right.
The 992.2 base 911 starts at 130,000. And we both know, listen, man, they the a la carte kings. For 130, you probably don't even get floor mats.
130 is nothing. Like, when I say everything in a 911, is an option. Everything.
So they say start at 130. If you got one for 130, it probably ain't even got floor mats in it. It ain't got nothing.
There's nothing there. Like, so probably average Carrera, probably minimum options, like just bare minimum, 150, 160.
150, 160. Yeah. Easy. And that's a base model.
Yeah, it's base.
The base 911.
And while we saying base, and we know like 992.2 base is smoking 90% of the cars on the road.
Sure.
But it's just, when you're a car person, it's something about getting the higher trim. So it's like, when you see the base model is that much, it's just like, yo. Especially when you compare it to previous gens, it is insane. And I'm torn on it because, like, we talked about it. We know the car probably gonna sell. And that's the frustrating part. Mm-hmm. Like, the car is probably gonna sell. Like, it's gonna sell, it's gonna do fine. So they're not gonna see any reason to say, hey, we can't keep going up, because the market they going for, they got the bread. Like, even with all, the shape of our economy right now, of course, everybody's pocket's hurting a little bit different, but even still, the people they going after, they're gonna make it happen. They're gonna make it happen. They're gonna pay the price. So,
but what I wonder though, Cam, is, in the past, I felt like they could be very aggressive with their pricing, because for whoever couldn't afford it, you still had the Cayenne and the Macans,
but those are high. Yeah, those are high.
But they're going high, and also a lot of them are going EV.
Yeah.
So this actually reminded me, while you were talking, I did a quick search. I remembered the quote. I didn't remember the name. Back in 2014, Detlef Van Platten. I hope I'm saying your name right. All right. At the time, he was the CEO of Porsche Cars North America. He had a quote that I heard way back then, and I was like, damn, that's gangster. They asked him, they was like, what's going on at Porsche? There's no affordable Porsche. Like, what are you telling the consumer? That man looked him square in the face and said, the affordable Porsche is a pre-owned Porsche. Man said, go get you a used one. And hey, when you can do it like that, when you can just throw it on the table and be like, I don't care if you can't afford it, go get you a used one.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing but respect it.
Yeah.
But when your stock is down 21%, something gotta give. So maybe.
And especially when you, like I said, even back then, they were high ranking in every market. Now you getting beat over the head in China.
Yes, sir.
You ain't necessarily just killing it in Europe anymore.
Mm-mm.
Like American really like your last stand. So it's just, I don't know. Like I said, it's tricky. I'm interested to see how it evolves over these next few years. But yeah, this new gen is, if you want a new 911, it's up there. Like, you gotta get your money up.
And I know we got to move on to the next topic, but I just keep going. What's crazy is, as a person like me who's trying to be in the market for a 911, not only do the new models continue to get more and more expensive, but because they get more and more expensive, they drive up the value of the used ones, making them more and more expensive.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't doing it enough, there's also this thing called tariffs that's driving up the price even more. And basically what I'm saying is, I'm probably going to get a horse and name it Porsche. I'm just going to name my horse Porsche. And that's the closest thing I'm going to get to a 911.
Nah, bro.
If the prices keep going.
This man going to get a 911. This man going to get a 911.
We'll see.
We talk about this all the time. He going to get a 911. But I think that is the last topic for this video. And that one wasn't even planned. Like, that was impromptu. You ain't getting that nowhere else.
It just was good talking.
You ain't getting that nowhere else. But yeah, Spade, like I said, I ain't going to harp on too much. But Porsche, get it together, bro. Get it together. Because some of this stuff is indefensible. I can't defend some of this.
It's tough, man.
Like,
it's tough.
I got to tighten up. But leave a comment below let us know what you think about all these topics. You know, all the stuff going on in the Americas. Porsche with their prices. Some of y'all probably already hate Porsche anyway. Probably hate them even more after hearing this. But yeah, sound off. Let us know what you think. We want to hear your thoughts, your complaints. You agree, disagree with us? Got a wild take? I think that's pretty much it. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. Go tell everybody, hit the like, subscribe. The typical YouTuber, baby. Y'all know what time it is. But yeah, until next time, we out. Peace.